Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists.
Hello and welcome to Question of the Week. I'm James Titko. This time we're answering a question from listener Christoph, voiced up by our very own Will Tingle.
How does the UV filter in sun cream actually work?
Thanks, Christoph. UV radiation emitted by the sun, which you can think of as an invisible form of light, is capable of penetrating Earth's atmosphere and causing us harm. It does this by damaging DNA, the genetic material which facilitates all life, compromising its functionality. This can cause sunburn in the short term, and in the long term, the most serious effect of UV exposure is skin cancer. Here to explain more is Anthony Young, Professor of Experimental Photobiology at King's College London.
Essentially, they work by absorbing ultraviolet radiation. We break sunscreen types into two broad classes. One is organic, and these are basically carbon-based molecules. You put them on the skin, they absorb the UV, and less UV goes into the skin. And that energy is theoretically converted to heat. They have to be photostable. A sunscreen that's not photostable would not be much use because it would simply break down in the presence of ultraviolet radiation. The other type are called inorganic, and they are essentially metal-based. Zinc oxide is one example. And these are tiny particles, and they also mostly work by absorption. They do scatter a little bit, but the vast majority of their effect is based on absorption, although it's commonly said in error that they work by reflection and or scattering, but it's not reflection, it's absorption and a little bit of scattering.
That's all very well for us humans, but we aren't the only species who need shielding from UV. Luckily, lots of plant and animal species have developed their own mechanisms to fend off harmful radiation.
Seaweed-type species synthesize molecules called mycosporine-like amino acids. And these are natural organic sunscreens. There are maybe 20 or so different varieties, and these have different optical properties in terms of UVA or UVB absorption. What's quite interesting about these compounds is that they are selectively absorbed, for example, in fish, in eye tissue, and also in eggs. I think you'll also find them selectively absorbed in eye tissue in octopus species. One would suggest that this is not chance. Interestingly, these algae also work in symbiosis with coral species. So the algae produce the mycosporine-like amino acids that protect corals from UV damage from the sun.
Even hippos, which scientists once thought were sweating blood due to the sticky reddish substance they were observing glistening on their skin, have developed a natural sunblock. Hipposudoric acid, as it's been dubbed, contains red and orange pigments that absorb sunlight in both the UV and visible range. Thanks so much to Anthony Young, Emeritus Professor of Experimental Photobiology at King's College London, for all his help with that question. Next time, another listener question, voiced up once more by Will.
A mechanical engine does not get tired. If provided with energy, it will continue to operate over and over. If the bloodstream provides enough energy, why can my muscles do 10 push-ups but not 11?
We look forward to that one. And if you have any thoughts on this or any of our other questions, why not log on to our forum, nakedscientists.com/forum, to have your own say. And of course, if you have any questions of your own, why not send them in to chris@thenakedscientists.com, and you could feature in a future show. Until next time, from me, James Titko, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Question of the Week is part of the Naked Scientists podcast. Look us up online at nakedscientists.com.